Morning, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady. Get your cup of coffee or your pop or your soda, whatever part of the country you're from. Get something to drink and let's get our gypsies and let's go to work. Hope you got your template done. Can't wait to show you what I do with mine. Anyway, there were lots of questions lately on the gypsy and just the basics on the gypsy, so I wanted to go through that with you. This is a copy of your screen. We all know what it looks like, but a couple people have questioned as to what asked me, can't you go through the buttons with this? So let's go through the buttons real quickly and briefly, and then it just as a refresher, this is to link your cartridges. If you want to delete a file, you touch here, it'll take you to the screen where all your files are, and you just choose and it'll ask you, are you sure? Then you can take it off. This is to upgrade your Cricut. Open in template. Now I just did template, but there's a purpose for open in template too. Open in template is you've already got your design made and you're going to open it as a template and adjust and add to things like that. On this week's post I showed you templates and how I make a specific template for a specific size, and so it's always there. I don't have to continually redo and redo. This way it's always there. This is just opening something in a template and adjusting from there. This is, as you know, open your screen and then new. And what I want to do is just go to open, and as you can see we got all kinds of goodies in here, but I'm going to grab the, I think that template, yes, A2 template. The one that we were working with this week was the A2 template where we have the 5.5 by 4.25, 4.25 by 5.5. Now, if we move over here, let's look at these. We already discussed in one of them the X, Y, and that's for positioning on your mat. You can line up something, so if you want everything lined up perfectly, you can use the X or Y and adjust by just changing and altering that number, and it pulls up your screen where you can type in the number that you want. See? I want it at the 4.5 position, and then it's going to put your little cursor right over here at the 4.5 X position, okay? Just so you know what they are, so you can line up things using the these little X and Y positions. You can set your mat for either inches or centimeters. I prefer inches. I could never adjust to the millimeters or centimeters because I wasn't taught that. Then you have the width and the height button. And you also have this little button here that I always forget the name of, but it looks like a little chain link. And it's because the two of them are chained together to create a ratio. So it's your ratio button. And they're linked together so that whenever you adjust one side of something, it'll automatically adjust the other. Otherwise, you know that if you were doing like I'm doing Frankie, I would have a lopsided Frankenstein. So that's what your link is for. It's a ratio button. This is your grouping button. This is your delete button. This is the actual size button. And I like to use that when I'm using cards for the size of the card, the base of the card, so that it's always, you know, just right. This is the ungroup. This is the go back. And of course you know the cut. And so oftentimes you see me when I'm doing something, I really should grab the width and height more, and I don't, because it's easier for me to look at something, put it on right here in the middle of my, in this case like I did the template, put it in there, and then I use the big buttons over here. This is to make larger, this is to make smaller, these little balls like here. And of course you know these are directions giving you to move that, your little piece of art or your letter or whatever, either up or down. Advanced button, kerning, we went over kerning. Kerning is to move your letters together, weld them, or move your artwork together, weld it. This one, we'll get to these in the near future. This one is to turn. So it's going to literally turn your object around in a circle. This next one is to slant it. So if you can turn any item that you have and slant it to the right or left. You can take any font and turn it more to where it would look like an italic just by using that slant button. And what's the nice part about it is you can take it just by degrees, by touching this, tapping this, and of course it's going to bring up the number keypad again. Then you have your weld button, which you're all familiar with, and I call these my flip buttons. It'll move it from right to left, left to right, or up to down, down to up. It'll just flip it the opposite direction that you're going in. And then the preview button, the copy button, take preview back off, and hide contour is really cool. And that we showed, but so oftentimes when I'm doing a card or doing something, I'll say hide contour. This is the button that I'm pushing. It looks like the corner of a picture frame. And it's the hide contour. You must have your item highlighted, and then when you touch the hide contour, it's going to come up, and then you can take off the items that you want to take off. And again, and in advanced or in the basic, it's going to keep the little balls at the bottom. That makes it larger or smaller, that's going to stay on there, and whether it's basic or advanced. And we already went through the different layers, the plus sign, but that was just a basic so that you know exactly where items are. And that's more or less to answer questions, and I'd like to take a video each time and answer questions, so that should help you out. Here's my Frankie card, and I cannot wait to see what you folks put in your little template. But I did go back in. I guess I should have more than 1 cup of coffee or half a cup of coffee before I start talking to you in the morning. I had to have a little bit more. I found the other parts of Frankie, as you can see, and I used the little Google eyes with the eyelash. I love those. You can get those at Hobby Lobby. Anyway, there's Frankie. And there's the mummy. I did the mummy too, so that you can see that. And I showed you a little trick if you check out the little picture tutorial. I used my netting and went over that to scary is not welded. It's one of the letters in Happy Hauntings, one of the words, and it's automatically there. I did not make this word, so it's not welded together, just so that you know. Anyway, exciting. I was so excited. When I opened up my page, as you know, I was away this past weekend, and when I opened up my page and there were 6 cards, where you guys put in 6 cards, I was so excited. And I want to thank each one of you and ask that this week just start a template and then make a card, any card in your template. And when you get that on, position it and link it up to my my blog so we can see it. And all we want to know is that you've got a template and you're working on a template, and whatever your card was, you made it and it's fitting within your template. Thanks for today. Have a great day, and I can't wait to see what you did, and maybe we'll have 8 or 10 this week. Bye now.